I'm going to explain to you how you can get the Rolex of your dreams. All you have to do is follow just a couple simple tips and tricks that I learned from an actual dealer. And this is going to help you secure the watch that you've been wanting for years and years a lot faster. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to get the watch in a week or two. I'm just letting you know that you're going to get it a lot faster than somebody else by using these tips and tricks. Again, this information comes directly from the source. I have built a relationship with several different dealers over the years, and they have told me exactly what they're looking for when they're going to sell the watch to someone that wants it versus a flipper. And that brings me to point number one. Don't be a flipper. Don't walk in and say, hey, yeah, I just want this watch so I can flip it. You're never going to get a watch doing that, ever. Obviously, that's self-explanatory, but for those of you out there that don't know, if you walk in and look like a flipper, you're never going to get any watch, even if it's available. That's tip number one. The biggest thing you need to do before you walk in is you need to identify where you're going to go. So number one is going to be location. All dealers are trying to sell as local as possible. So you want to find the closest Rolex dealer to you. And the second caveat to that is you want to find a dealer that is actually affiliated with Rolex. It's an authorized dealer for Rolex. And I'm going to take that even a step further. Try to stay away from family-owned businesses. I know this is, especially in 2024, that's a terrible thing to say. Stay away from them for multiple reasons, but the second you walk into the Rolex boutique and you see jewelry and something that's not other watch brands, you're not going to get a watch unless you buy diamonds. And those games we don't play. We're not trying to spend your money on other things like jewelry or watches that you don't want. You want to work with a dealer that only is really selling watches, and maybe even a dealer that only sells Rolex. That's your ideal situation. So identify the closest dealer to your area that specifically sells Rolex and maybe a couple other brands, but they're not forcing you to buy something else. When you go in and you say, hey, I want a Rolex, they're not saying, oh, you can't get Rolex. Hey, how about an Omega? How about a Breitling? That's a red flag. Go to a different dealer. You want someone that's going to work with you. So again, for number one, find that location that works best for you and is close to you and is willing to work with you. Step number two. This is one of the most important things you could do when you walk into a dealer for the first time, and that is know what you want. They are looking for a person that says, hey, I want a Submariner, and I'm not going to settle for anything less. They don't want someone that's going to walk in with a list of 5 different watches and say, I want this, 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 and this, and this. That is a red flag to the dealer. Do not do that. They are looking, again, for someone that says, hey, I want a Submariner with the green bezel. I want a Kermit. That's all I want. That's it. Nothing else. Now, I'm not saying don't go in and give a list of maybe 2 watches, 3 at the absolute most, but be as specific as possible. Don't even go in and say, yeah, I want a Submariner. Well, what Submariner do you want? You have to have that predetermined before you walk in the door so that they know, okay, here's a guy that's very specific, knows what he wants, and is actually going to wear it. Because again, they only want to sell to people that they know are not going to go turn around and try to flip these watches. So that's number 2, know what you want. The third, and probably one of the most important things, is to have a story. Now, don't make something up. Be truthful. But you want to have some sort of story. For example, maybe your grandfather had a Rolex, and that's why you want your Submariner. Or maybe your uncle has a GMT, and you've always loved it since you were a kid, and that's why you really want one for yourself. Or maybe you've just always liked Rolex, and you're getting married, and you want one for your wedding. Again, don't lie, be truthful, but having a story is going to get you to that next level. It's going to get you to that attention and care. So those are the three main things that are going to help you over the next guy that just walks in, and it's really going to help you get that watch a lot quicker. Now, I'm going to tell you the story of how I got my Rolex within a month without even knowing the dealer at all. And that's actually this one right here, my Kermit. Now, this is a real story. It's not a lie by any means, but this is how you do it. This is what they want. So basically what happened to me on June 6th of 2023, I was crossing the street and I actually got hit by a van. Luckily, for the most part, I'm okay. I'm still recovering, but anyway, I won't get into that. We're talking about the watch. So my first, something that happened during the accident was the watch I was wearing. One of my all-time favorite watches, my No Time to Die, actually got destroyed in the accident. I flew across about 15-20 feet on the ground, and the watch got completely destroyed. And it was heartbreaking because my wife gave it to me as my engagement gift from her. But anyway, that watch got destroyed. So after about 6 months of recovery, one of my first trips out of the house was to the mall. And they happened to have a Rolex boutique. So what did I do? I went to the Rolex boutique, and I literally could barely walk. I was limping at the time, no cane or anything like that. But I went in there and I said, hey, this is my first day out of the house in 6 months. And I decided to come here to Rolex because I want a Kermit. That's all I want. And I gave my story. I said I got hit by the car. I lost the watch I was wearing. Obviously, it got fixed, and I told him that, but I want something to fill that void. And I had never been there before. Within a month, I got the call to pick up my watch. And using everything that I just told you, all those techniques, that's how I was able to get it. And then I want to add in a bonus. Tip number 4, this is a bonus, and this is something, honestly, everyone should do. That's follow-up. After you go into the boutique, build that relationship. Keep going. Go a minimum of once a month just to say, hey, how you doing? What's up? And don't even ask about the watch. Just show your face. And that's it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these tips. If it works for you, if you get a watch, share your story in the comments. I want to hear how you got the watch of your dreams from Rolex. But until next time, peace.